Zaffa presents The Nursemaid's Journey, written by Sheila Newberry and read by Ruby Thomas. This audiobook is brought to you by Memory Lane, a special community for the very best saga writing. Join us today at memorylane.club. Prologue. England, April 1906. Molly pointed out the blossom on the gnarled apple trees to the chuckling baby riding on her back. Pudgy arms clung tightly round her neck, and small, jigging feet in soft kid boots urged her on through the old orchard. "Look, Faye, snow in April." She set the baby down, and Faye, who at 11 months was still uncertain on her feet, swayed and clutched at her new friend's long skirt. Then Molly unbuckled her belt, lifted Faye up, and settled her on her lap on the old plank swing. The belt secured them together at the waist. Molly covered Faye's clinging hands with her own and began the momentum. The jerking of the bough from which the ropes were suspended sent petals floating down, softly brushing their upturned faces. "Snow!" Faye shouted in excitement. "Snow," Molly echoed. What fun she had had out here with the youngest convent girls, making tracks in the real stuff, she thought, not so long ago. But there was the gentle warmth of spring in the air today, the sweet scent of blossom, wildflowers in the long grass. This was always an enchanted place for children to explore and play in, the very heart of the Weald of Kent. Molly's eyes were suddenly bright with tears at the realization that she would shortly be leaving this place where she had always felt secure and happy. "Don't be silly," she reproved herself. "Haven't you been looking forward to finding a job, being independent, travelling the world and seeing the sights, as a governess perhaps, or a lady's companion? It was just," she thought, that this opportunity had come completely out of the blue. Although tact was hardly Molly's strong point, she had obediently gone out with Faye this afternoon at Sister Margaret Mary's suggestion, soon after her prospective employer's arrival with her late daughter's child. They were having a serious discussion, she guessed, about her suitability for caring for Faye on a long sea voyage. Molly knew that much, no more, but it was all very exciting. She airily dismissed the thought that such a lowly employee was rarely given time off for sightseeing. At almost 18 years old, Molly was a determined girl, even though she was naive in the ways of the world, too impulsive, as she had been throughout her sheltered childhood. How the nuns sighed over her exuberance at times! Her dramatic utterances would cause the younger girls to squeal, but in delight, not terror. They particularly enjoyed, "Here comes the ghost of Benjamin Barrett, stabbed in the back with a rusty carrot." However, most of them had a soft spot for young Molly Sparks because she was invariably cheerful. "Sparkle, that should have been her name," remarked Sister Margaret Mary with a wry smile. "Comes of having an actress for a mother, I suppose, even though Molly hardly knew her. Blood will out." Now, Molly steadied the swing and said, "That's enough for this afternoon, Faye, or you might be sick on your best dress, and somehow I don't think your granny would approve of that." Mrs. Nagel appeared rather forbidding, she thought. She unfastened the belt, hoisted the protesting Faye in her arms, and scrambled to her feet. "Oh, don't you?" a cool voice observed from behind them. Startled, Molly swung round. A tall woman stood there. She was in her late 40s, still in mourning clothes, with tiny lozenge-shaped jet beads gleaming on the pin-tucked bodice of her black watered silk dress. She had piercing blue eyes under frowning brows, a creamy complexion, and thick dark...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?